Welcome to today's video. Today's video is on intra, pre, post workout nutrition, training, and liquidation. Our water bottle, $5 at the dollar store. Okay, be frugal. Okay, why pay $20 if you can pay $5? Pre-training, a lot of people tend to think that they have to use BCAAs, creatine, like all this stuff before they go and work out. And you don't really need all this stuff, okay? If you're spending your money, really think twice, okay? You want to be smart with your money, especially in fitness where there's a lot of money grabs, a lot of fitness influencers where they're trying to rob you of your money by something, right? From that is always their ultimate goal. To be fair, there are supplements that are very, very good and they have good missions, they do good work, they produce good outcomes. Personally, I'm not a huge proponent of like a specific supplement company. I just kind of find whatever I can find on a deal, and at least as of right now. Maybe in the future when I have like a sponsorship or like a brand partnership, then that will be a different conversation. Really just look at where the supplement's from, who's behind the supplements, where is it sourced from. So is it sourced in the USA? Is it sourced in China, in Korea, Germany, Canada? Those are like the main places that supplements are sourced from. Pre-training nutrition or supplementation, you really don't need much. If you had to pick one, you say, okay, well, if I want to just use something, I would say look into creatine. There's a lot of research behind creatine. Personally, I used it like once in my beginning stages and I never used it again. Now, some people will say, oh, well, you have good genetics. Yes, genetics is 95% of this. I wouldn't even say 95, but it's majority of the percentage. Hard work always negates luck. Okay, so hard work always wins. Some people will say that, oh, I work hard and I still don't see results. Well, it's because you're not working hard. Okay, you're not working hard and smart. Okay, it's two components here to accomplish your goals. You have to work hard and smart. To be a little bit more hardcore, you can look into L-carnitine. So L-carnitine comes in supplement form, it comes in powder form, and it comes in injectable form. Some places they use MCT oil to create the L-carnitine, and you usually will use the L-carnitine before you go and specifically you do cardio. It really helps to address like fat loss, to use the fat as fuel so you can burn it. So it's specifically used for when you're trying to lose weight or like cut. That's if you're comfortable, doing that, like self-administration. And then you can also get pill or powder. So powdered L-carnitine, you just put it in your water. Personally, I'm not a huge fan. I find that it may not be as bioavailable, and I find that it may just be a waste of your money. Keep in mind that a lot of these supplements are a waste of your money. So just really be smart and just use your judgment as much as possible. And hopefully me telling you that, like, personally I never use supplements in my beginning stages. Like, another one is BCAAs. So a lot of people will use BCAAs. If you really think about it, what are they putting in these products? And if you look at the industry before supplements came about, people didn't use this stuff and they still achieved very, very respectable physiques. So you don't need BCAAs. A lot of people, especially the people that are like bro science, or they try to create their own knowledge without any supporting information, a money grab. So just be conscious of that. If you want to use it and just try it out, you can always try it, but try to use it with some intellect and like with the thought of measuring your progress. And you can look into is like an electrolyte solution. So there is this brand called LNMT. I mentioned it in my previous video that I made. Your water electrolyte, really great, lots of salt, and there seems to be some research now that supports how if you're really into working out and training, that you really do need a little bit more sodium than you might actually think, specifically if you do like a lot of cardio or like activity where it requires of you losing sodium or losing water, I should say, or electrolytes. Or if you're someone like me where you're just kind of cheap, you can just go to Walmart or even the dollar store. The dollar store has some electrolyte solutions. If you go in the baby section at the dollar store, you're gonna find a little carton of electrolyte solution. Don't want to do that, then you can do also Gatorade. Not a huge fan. I personally am not a huge fan of Gatorade because of the sugar content. It's really filled with sugar for you. If you're losing a lot, if you're like a football player, or you're like a hockey player, and you're constantly, or CrossFit or triathlon athlete, you're going to want to replace those lost calories and lost sodium with a solution. So that is another kind of cheap way. You can just go to the dollar store and just get some of that. As far as post nutrition, really quickly, I'll dive into that. A lot of people say like, oh, to eat in that hour window right after you finish training. And to be fully transparent, sometimes after I train, I don't eat for another 2-3 hours. Okay. Was able to build my 30-inch biceps. So need to do that. Now, to say that maybe perhaps it hindered me, I don't know. So don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you hear. If you're trying to like prep for like a show, you may want to get a little bit more meticulous with your nutrition and your supplementation, because now the little details matter. But if you're just trying to feel fit, be healthy, build some muscle tissue, look good, what have you, then you need to get into all of these little gimmicks of like what to do, how much to do, those sort of things. Trying to be like an elite or professional, sort of like what I do, then yeah, you want to perhaps look into more specific stuff. Kind of big now is peptide. So peptide therapy, there is a lot of blowing up in the media about peptides. I do intend to make some content on that. One peptide, for example, is BPC 157 and TB 500. You usually, administer it subcutaneously. You can get it from your doctor. Doctors have it available. I actually do have a source that is, it's a source from a doctor, and anybody can sign up, but you have to be over 30 BMI, 30% BMI. So if you are over that and you're interested in peptides, you can go ahead and message me or email me and I can help you out. I'd be very skeptical and just really think twice about what you're doing and making sure that you have reliable sources and having a doctor that can help you if you choose to do the peptide route. Self-administration can go south if you don't know what you're doing. So just be kind of conscious of that.